Hello there. Thank you for watching my views and news. Two news stories. Firstly, talks between the Fano and Ethiopian government. When PM Abiy pacified the complaints and concerns of members of parliament yesterday about macroeconomic reforms, he said that negotiations are underway between Fano and the government. Question is, which Fano groups are in talks with the government? Are there any real talks ongoing, or the government just wants to create splits in Fano by raising this point of talks with Fano? Secondly, viewers, Tigray military commanders are holding some discussions about internal security, about political instability, about confrontation between the Tigray interim government and the Tigray People's Liberation Front. First story viewers about Fano government talks. Himabi is trying to lead from the front because his government under fire, his policy of macroeconomic reforms under fire. He called a session of parliament. He asked Speaker to call a session of the House of Representatives so that he could get the backing of MPs. Then he personally appeared. He addressed the questions and concerns of members of parliament, and he's saying that this is what was needed, and people will have to swallow this hard pill, but government won't leave the poor unattended. Government will take care of them, but in the coming few months could be difficult, but gradually things will improve and country will be on the right path of development and prosperity. He talked about negotiations with armed groups too in his speech yesterday. What did he say? Firstly, he said that the government is in talks with the armed groups in the Amhara region. Why is that it has not been disclosed by armed groups? Armed groups means Fano groups. He said that these groups could be in danger. Their leaders could be in danger. They could be killed if they disclose that they are negotiating with the government. That is why they're not disclosing it. So, and secondly, he said that there are issues in Amhara region. In Fano groups are not united. There are differences, but with some elements in the Amhara region, with some armed elements, government is negotiating. Any progress made? No one knows. He did not elaborate. Which Fano groups is government in talks with? Again, no details. How long ongoing? No details. Who is representing government? No detail. Who is representing Fano? No details. The question is, which Fano groups are in talks with the government? Well, first, let's analyze one by one. Gojam Fano. Anyone from Gojam in talks with the government? I don't think so. That's my analysis, by the way. I know how these groups are working. I know their positions on talks. I don't think any major Fano commander is in talks with the government from Gojam. And I'm not sure about Masresha, but Masresha is not a key player in Gojam now. Wallo, again, I don't think that either Colonel Fantahun or Mere Wadajo are talking to government. No. Shoa, difficult to predict. Skandar is seeing adversaries here. Makatao here too. Asagad McConnell arrested. Janel also here. But I'm not sure about anyone from Shoa being in touch with the government. People have been accusing Skandar Badawi that Skandar is supportive of talks. And that is why he is being launched by the government because he will talk to the government. He supported the idea of talks, by the way. When US called for talks with Fano a few months ago, Skandar supported the idea. Later, he just withdrew his statement and he changed his statement. Skandar might be in touch with some elements, indirectly elements in the Prosperity Party. Why? Because Skandar was pushed against the wall by Zubin Akas. He was expelled from Gujum. Then he tried to gain a foothold in Shoa. He went to Wollo too. So maybe while he was on the run, he built some contacts with the government, and government told him to organize Fano so that he could talk to Fano. Gondar is divided. I am not sure about Gondar. There could be elements in Gondar in talks with the government. This is the only Fano group, Gondar Fano, about which I think there could be some elements in talks with the government. Why? Because North Gondar Fano remained inactive for months when the military launched an operation against Fano last year. Then Zinnash is from Gondar, Pimabi's in-laws from there, so they have some influence there. Gondar elders are known for having some secret communication with the government. So there could be some elements there. Gondar Fano, by the way, groups played a key role in the election of Skandar too. They backed Skandar. There could be this nexus, Skandar, Gondar, and talks with the government. But other major Fano groups are not in talks with the government. That's my own analysis. But if I receive any verified information, I'll share with you. Secondly, was Tigray military concerned about the internal political and security situation, tensions rising between the TPLF and Tigray interim government, security situation worsening to internal discussions have been held in Tigray reportedly. Internal discussions involving Tigray's security officials. What was discussed? Well, two types of discussions have been held. One between Tigray security institutions and the government, Tigray interim government. Secondly, some internal meetings of the Tigray's military. Tigray's military is admitting that security situation is worsening in Tigray. Several challenges: illegal mining, mining for gold, foreigners involved, locals involved, some men in power involved, human trafficking, smuggling, kidnapping for ransom, violence against women, different types of crimes, robberies, etc. So overall security situation is worsening according to the Tigray military commanders. Secondly, TPLF and Tigray interim governments face off. It could turn into a serious deadlock, and it could be an existential threat to the region's stability if situation does not improve. Thirdly, the role of Tigray military commanders. Should Tigray's military officers, former, etc., should they be part of TPL, or should they be part of any political discussions, or should they disassociate themselves from these political discussions? Reportedly, the majority of participants said that military should not have any political role. Military can play the role of a convener, a mediator, a deal broker, a peacemaker, but it should not take sides. So military commanders, senior officers serving, retired, should disassociate themselves from political matters. By the way, if you remember last year, this year, I criticized when Tigray generals attended TPLF's internal meetings. I said they should not have any role in politics. And this military remained silent, by the way, when Tigray interim government crushed opposition parties last year. They tried to protest in Mekelle, but police brutally crushed the protest. Military remained silent. It did not criticize the Tigray interim government. Even diaspora largely remained silent, and now Tigray interim government and TPLF are fight for power, internal power in TPLF. Now Tigray military is concerned. I think military should play a constructive, positive role. It should not be a party. At the same time, it should keep its pressure upon Tigray interim government and TPLF to promote a democratic culture, not just in TPLF, but in Tigray. Opposition parties complaining for around 2 years that their due political rights are being denied. No one listening. And now, when TPLF people are fighting, military has realized the gravity of the situation. Let's see how the military handle the situation. Thank you for watching.